Welcome. We're going to have another competence lunch. There's some more people going to dribble in a bit, I think, but they're sort of finishing off meetings. But we'll start. Today I'd like to introduce Sophie Uesson. Here, she is. I know her. We run this Internet of Things Stockholm together. So that's what we got to know each other. And she works with change right now. Right?
Yes.
And she's going to talk about, hopefully she'll give us even some tips on how we actually get people to change. And we've been talking about that quite a lot. How we actually, get people to change in terms of sort of digital development or building digital tools. So, I think you'll introduce yourself. I think.
Yeah.
It's probably the best. And we'll just kick it off.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see so many people here because it's 25 degrees outside and really sunny in the summer. So thanks for being here. I was invited here by Daniel to speak about what we do at SHUHUU. But then when I thought about it all, I think what I wanted to speak about is change and how to move from change to habit. How by doing small changes we can actually change bigger systems. So I will do this I will just briefly introduce myself, who I am, my background, what we do at SHUHUU, and then talk about change, and then in the end I'll go through a case or a project that we've been working on for the past 6 months. Okay? And it will be about 20 to 30 minutes. I told Molly that every time I do a talk like this, I usually slow down. And I don't really know why. I think I'm just trying to speak very clear. So my name is Sophie Uesson. I'm Uesson in English, Uesson. I'm from Malmö in the southern Sweden. And ever since I was a child, I had a big interest in technology. My dad used to travel a lot with his work, and when he got back to Sweden from South Korea or Singapore or other places like that, he always brought like small robots and tiny video games and stuff like that, which me and my sister loved. I studied something called the Chaos Pilots. Is anyone familiar with that? No? Yeah? Yeah. So it's a Danish 3-year education, and the main focus is project management, process design, creative business design, and social innovation. And after that, I got a big interest in communication. I did my internship in London at a digital agency. Which made it quite normal to continue working with digital communication. So I've been working with communication within several tech startups, one called Polaros, one called Fanito, where I've always been, I've had these fancy titles like product evangelist and community manager and stuff like that. So I've always been working between the user and the product team. So I've been talking to users, getting feedback what kind of features they want, and then to the product team to get feedback on the features that they want to develop. After some time doing that, I did an MA in digital media at Goldsmiths in London, and I moved to Stockholm because I got a job at a digital agency called Actionist, and I worked there for 1 year with really nice digital projects for clients like Hyresgästföreningen, SFBU, Viasat, Fjällbynt. And after a year of doing that, I started SHUHUU. And this is a dream that I've had for a long time, and me and my sister have been talking a lot about starting a company. And then finally in November last year we started SHUHUU. And with my background with her background within urban planning, our main goal is to bridge the gap between users and organizations, and for instance, bridging the gap between the public sector and citizens. So we call ourselves an innovation studio, and we work with cities, municipalities, and private organizations, and we develop concepts and services and projects. And our main focus is on societal development, so working with societal challenges. What we basically do is we do a lot of research about trends. So we've been doing some work, some research about the future work, what will happen in the future with new technology and so forth. And then we've also been doing research on the sharing economy and how that affects society. But our main focus is to develop processes and to do workshops and finding new ways to start a dialogue between users and companies. And then we also do seminars, so we work with campaigns and try to create debate around certain topics. But I'm not going to talk about that, I'm not going to show lots of examples. I'd like to talk about what I think that we have in common, and SHUHUU and Screen. That we both work with innovation, disruption, invention, and the creation of new ideas and concepts. And what that really is about is to change someone, to change mindsets, to change behavior. And this could be among clients, and then in the longer run, more systematic changes. And then, I mean, change is a very wide definition, and I've found a definition that I like. That's this. So change is to make the form, nature, content, future course different from what it is, or from it would be left alone. So doesn't this happen all the time? Isn't everything changing all the time? Or is there a situation where something stands still? I mean, in 1 second you can change something. It happens really easy, right? Or is it easy? No? Yeah. This can happen in 1 second. I mean, you could blink an icy pole and everything would change. But it's not that kind of change that I like to focus on. Because this can happen in an isolated situation, in an isolated context. But in order to make change more permanent, and to make it happen in a wider perspective, you need to make it into a habit. And then the question is, how do you go from change into habit? I mean, how can you make this wheel spin the other way around? Have you ever tried forming a habit? Anyone?
Our office spaces, I think about. We've tried to switch from having one office place every day to having activities in.
And how did that work?
What do you say? Kind of.
Semi-successful.
It was still working on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we try to do this all the time, I guess. Beach 2015 is out there, and some people try to form some habits of exercising or eating more healthy, or yeah, there are many examples. But I mean, how many days do you think it takes to go from change to habit? Anyone?
12.
12.
30.
30.
1 day.
100. 100. Okay. So there was actually a health psychology researcher called Philippa Lally at the University College of London, who recently did some research on this. I mean, people have been doing research on this for many years. But she gathered 96 people over a 12-week period, and each person had to come up with one thing that they wanted to to form as a new habit. And it could be like, I want to run 15 minutes every morning, I want to drink more water every day. And what happened was that those 12 weeks were not enough. It takes 60 days, 66 days on average to form a habit. To be more exact, the range is from 18 days to 254, approximately. And I'd like to show the whole process with a little metaphor. So we have this Ferris wheel, and it spins clockwise. And it's been doing this for all the time. And this could be yourself, or it could be a company, or it could be just a behavior. So one day someone thinks that it's a great idea to try to make it spin counterclockwise. And the operator says, yeah, fine, let's try that for one day, just one time. And I mean, it's just, you can just do it, it takes 1 second, right? So you can just push this button and then it will go the other way around. But then the other day, so you push the button. Nice animation. And then the next day you come back and you're just like, but it's clockwise again. It's like, yeah, but we can't just change that thing. Okay, why not? And then in this case, I mean, there are so many reasons, but the operator might say that, well, we need to think about the management. This is a decision in the top. We need to do lots of research, and the whole logistics will change. There are lots of rules, regulation, or policies that we need to investigate before we do this change. So it's really easy to change just one tiny thing for a short while, but in order to change the whole mindset, you need to think about all these things, and you need to be persistent, because there will be resistance. So then, I mean, why is it so difficult? Why don't people want to change, or organizations, or situations? But I mean, what is hindering us? I mean, you have all these explanations that are just listed, but do you have any other ideas? Why do we want to stick doing the same thing all the time?
Comfortable.
Comfortable?
These efforts.
Lazy?
Habits.
Security.
Scary.
It's a little scary.
Yeah, it's scary. No, yeah, that's interesting that you say that's scary, because I found this list about the 10 things that people fear the most, and it's really interesting. I won't list all of them, but I'll list some of them. So on number 10, losing freedom. Very scary. The unknown. Ridicule, that someone will mock you. Rejection, someone won't like you anymore. Death is number 2. So then, what is number 1? If death is number 2?
Change.
It's a change.
It could be changed. Failure.
Oh.
So death is actually, I mean, people are more afraid of failing than dying, which I find really interesting. And I think this is, this is something to think about when you go out and you meet clients, for instance. Because this might be what you see. You have a great idea that you would like to present. But it's something new, and it's a bit cloudy there in the middle of the project, but then in the end it's very nice and clear and light. And you really trust the idea and you know that the result will be great, but you don't have 100% proof that it will be great. But this is what you see, and then this is what the client sees themselves failing, being ridiculed, and going into the unknown. So like this person who's painted blue. So then, how can we go from change to habit? I mean, what can we do in order to try to change this? And then, so based on a project that we just worked with, we've identified 3 tips or 3 things that we have reflected a lot on. And I guess you all know them, but it's just, I just go through them and then I'll also go through others. So, in every company there are some people that we call the movers and shakers. So who is the person wearing the clown shoes? Who's talking about the future in an innovative way? Who leads the change within the company? And who is willing to be this blue smurf that I just showed? And then number 2, make small changes. So, I mean, say that you have a client meeting and you've heard that, or you have this great idea for a smaller project that it's quite isolated, but it's still something can happen when you do this thing. So go for that. So start painting the door green, and then go for the bigger change. Because when you're in there, when you understand the context, when you have the trust, then you can go for the bigger projects that will change the structures more. And then be persistent. There will always be people that are haters, can you say that, within companies, that won't like what you're trying to do in the company. So stay persistent and then you'll get some results. I'll just go through the project that we've been working on with Sundbyberg the past 7 months, and analyze through these 3 points. So in October last year, right before we started, we were contacted by Sundbyberg Stad. Do you all know where that is? It's quite close to you. And they are rebuilding the city center. At the moment there's a railway going through the whole city, and they are digging it down into a tunnel. So a lot of space will be freed up. It's about 4 football fields, and they are creating a new vision for that. So it's called Vision 2030. I mean, what should happen within this space? So they asked us to come up with a concept to engage young people between 16 and 26 years old and involve them in shaping the future and in shaping the vision. So come up with ideas that they could then implement into the vision. So, going back to the movers and shakers. After a few meetings, we realized that it was a great group of people, fantastic people working there. But I mean, some people want to do more innovative stuff than others. So we knew that when we were developing the concept, we had to balance the people and not being too crazy, or just come up with something that was innovative, but still the naysayers would say yes to. So in order to meet young people where they are, we created an online idea competition where people could submit their ideas and compete to win 25,000 kronor, which is quite a lot for young people. We got a lot of great ideas, and we had 2 different part competitions, and Yeah, both of them actually. No, one has ended and the second one is ending next week. So then the project will be done. And then in order to also meet the people in real life, to get, I mean, yes, you can get some knowledge out of this, what young people want, but we also wanted to meet them, to get a better understanding of what their vision and dreams are, because there's so many things that you can just hear through discussions. So we created something called Hack the City, which is a code-free hackathon. We call it an ideathon, where young creatives meet for 8 hours and they just develop ideas together. We had people coming from, we had architect students, we had geographers, we had graphic designers, developers, we had some psychologists, so quite a diverse crowd. And we started doing this in Sundbyberg, but then we thought that why only focus on Sweden? We wanted an international perspective, and we wanted to go to cities who have experienced a lot of change, who might think in different ways. So we did Hack the City Berlin, and we did Hack the City London as well, and met young Londoners and young Germans. And so this is some pictures from Berlin, and it was a great day to just listen to all these people who, I mean, they had never ever heard about Sundbyberg before. They called it Sandbyberg, and we told them about the whole brief, and then they just developed lots of great ideas. So the next challenge for us is to stay persistent. We have all these ideas and we started a change, but now we need to make sure that all the ideas are implemented into the vision so that it actually goes from change to habit. Thank you.